My name is Rachel Brinke, and I am the head photographer and lawyer over at the Law Talk. The Law Talk is the legal resource for photographers, and my goal, along with my entire team full of lawyers, CPAs, certified financial planners, insurance agents, all these sort of professionals that we have, our goal is to make sure that your business is protected so you can focus on your business and not have to focus on legal issues or other complications. Because the unfortunate thing is, if you guys have to come to an attorney or a CPA to clean up a mess, the only people that win are the lawyers and the CPAs. You guys end up losing because then you're focused on spending money, time, and energy on dealing with us as opposed to dealing with your photography business and growing your photography business. So I want to talk to you guys a little bit today, some top legal information that I think you need to know that is really important. If you're newer in photography, this is perfect for you. If you're not so newer, it's still great for you to listen to because there are maybe little nuances that you don't realize. One of the most important things that I always try to impress to photographers, not just the protection aspect, but this idea that legal stuff is not check the box and move on and never come back. Hopefully, and more than likely, your business is going to grow, your policies are going to change, your prices are going to increase, your liability is going to go up. For these reasons, you need to have it on your calendar on a routine basis to make sure you're checking in on the legal health and protection of your business. So let's dive right in. Just a nice little disclaimer before we get started. I am a lawyer, but I'm not your lawyer unless you want me to be, but then we have to take the steps to do that. Everything I want to provide to you today is educational information based on American legal principles. So again, if you guys have any questions, reach out to us. Let us know if we can help you in any way. Just remember, we can't legally advise you in this video or anywhere through email. We'd have to be in a specific legal relationship of lawyer and client. However, my team is available anytime by email or in the Law Talk community to kind of help you find some other resources and information that's available out there. We have years worth of articles on the blog. We also have years worth of posts in the Law Talk community on Facebook. So you can reach out through thelawtalk.com to the team or one of those other resources to find more information if you are just wanting way more legal stuff than I can give you through this video. The top questions that I always ask as I'm speaking at events, at workshops, or just by email is how to have a legal business. So I want to run through a top tips kind of checklist for you guys to use to make sure that your business is on the right path. Now, of course, you guys understand that some of this may vary depending on your specific circumstances. You may necessitate your hiring of a lawyer and a CPA both to evaluate your business. Please don't just go to a CPA to make sure that your protection is all set up. They're great for tax stuff, but a lawyer really needs to come in on the liability side and so forth. So it's a team effort there. So again, let's just jump right into the checklist, but be mindful that you may need a little bit more of professional help. Not crazy professional help, but professional help by a lawyer or CPA to help you out. So the very first step that I always tell any business owner, especially photographers, to protect their business with, the first step is to choose the type of business structure. We have the choices of sole proprietor, limited liability company, and variations of corporations that are available to us. The choices of these structures really should be a balance between what tax benefits are available to me as well as my limitation of liability. As a lawyer, I'm not a fan of recommending sole proprietorships, even if you're going to get to the insurance and have protection of contracts, which we're going to talk about both of those in a little bit. I really think it all starts with your business structure. So again, I'm not a fan of sole proprietorships, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you're lost at sea or you have no protection with being a sole proprietor. It just merely is the default structure. So if you've not taken any steps to set up your business, you end up automatically defaulting into the sole proprietorship. You're going to end up filing your taxes on the exact same tax return that you would as your personal one, because your personal and your business, there's no difference. Now, when you get into the LLCs or the limited liability companies and the corporation aspect, then you start to see a separation between your personal stuff and your business stuff. And that's where the limitation of liability comes in and really can give you good protection benefits based on the type of business structure. So make sure you guys check out what is required in your specific state, pairing with that the liability evaluation by an attorney as well as the tax evaluation by a CPA. The next thing that you guys need to make sure that you're doing is a sales tax permit. Every state calls it a little something different. So don't send me a nastygram saying it's called a sales tax license or it's called this in my state. Words are used interchangeably amongst the states. They're not all just one common phrase, but they do basically operate the same way. And a sales tax permit is essentially the permit that you have to sell goods and services in your state, and it also is that little hook that you have to the state so that you have to pay sales tax, whether it's on goods, whether it's on services, whether it's on both. All of that's going to be very dependent upon your state, but just make sure you have the sales tax permit, make sure that you're remitting the sales tax properly, and filing, even if you haven't sold anything on your schedule, make sure that your filing is zero anyways, because you get pinged with a late fee. The next step is making sure that you have the right insurance. Insurance is so important. There's a broad variety of ones out there. We've got equipment, we've got liability. There's a whole host of other ones that I'm not going to go too deep on. We've got a checklist on the LawTalk that can help you out with that, and even a course called Biz Revamp. But the two main ones that I encourage you guys to have is liability insurance and equipment insurance. Especially if you're shooting within your home, liability insurance is very important to be separate out from your homeowner's insurance policy because it's probably not going to cover business activities. For the equipment insurance, kind of the same way. Hardly do any home equipment or property insurance policies cover business equipment. So this is why it's important for you guys to have liability insurance and equipment insurance separate from your home stuff, but also to have it to protect yourself. The liability insurance policy is a hurdle between you and your client if an issue should happen. It's something that they have to get through in order to get to you. Your business formation works, your insurance works, and then we're going to talk about contracts here in a little bit. But these are layers of protection, and that insurance is another layer of protection to help you. But it's not foolproof because not all insurance policies are foolproof. There's always ways around it. You never know what will happen, so that's why I revert back to the business formation that's really important for you guys to have. And then on the equipment insurance, this is kind of a no-brainer, guys. You need to have equipment insurance. What happens if you drop your camera? I don't care how good that the rapid strap you have is. I don't care how careful you are. Accidents happen. We are human. You never know. And if that is the source of your income, then you need to make sure that it's insured. So again, that was business formation, insurance, and your sales tax permit. Let's talk a little bit about legal forms. These are kind of that next layer of protection, or contracts, agreements, whatever you guys want to call it. They operate fairly in the same way to protect you. It's another hurdle between you and the client should there ever be a legal issue. My recommendation is to always have like a portrait agreement or a main booking contract. This is the contract that is going to outline the responsibilities and expectations between yourself and the client that you're having coming to you. It's going to cover everything, hopefully, as long as it's lawyer drafted and it's well-rounded, and the LawTalk has them. But either way, you don't have to purchase it from us. It's really important that you have a lawyer draft this for you. It's even better if you guys have a checklist of items to take to an attorney because you're going to have a more well-rounded contract. Our templates offer the same thing. You can take the template to a local attorney, apply it. You're going to have a lawyer revised contract at that point, and it's more well-rounded than just something that you may have drawn up yourself because you guys may not understand the legal theories and laws that exist in your state. So again, the portrait contract is the main one that I strongly recommend you guys have. It manages everything from the intake of the client all the way through the very end of the relationship. It's going to include specifics of who the client is, their contact information, monetary exchange if there is any, promised products and services, the deposit amount, a cancellation late policy, expectations such as turnaround time, guaranteed quality of product, how and when products are going to be delivered, all these sorts of things. If you guys were overwhelmed, I quite literally just gave you a checklist of items that should be included. You can also look at the bullet points of the products over at the LawTalk as well. The next contract that I recommend or legal form that you guys have is a model release. This is signed by the subject of the photography or the legal guardian if the individual is a minor. It provides the photographer with the necessary permission to take and display photographs in commercial manners, which pretty much is going to be your website, your Facebook, your social media, everything that you're trying to gain business with. A model release is not an essential requirement in order to shoot, though. You can shoot without one. My rule of thumb is always have a contract that governs the relationship, but you can waive the model release because some people just want their privacy and they don't want you to use it in commercial practices. And that's okay. For me, I'm comfortable with that. You may not be, but that's the beauty of being a business owner. If you don't want to shoot without being able to display all the images, you don't have to take them as a client. The next legal form that I recommend you guys have is a print release. This is another optional form for only when you're selling like digital files. You can also use it as a product release as well, just outlining the different things of telling your client what they can and can't do with the digital files or products that they received. Really, this is a personal use license for what they have. It's giving them a little bit of rights while you retain all of the copyrights of the item. Then we have a copyright notice. This is not required by any means. This is something that just is a nice little educational tool that you can use, and I integrate it with my portrait agreement so it's not separate. By law, we don't have to do it, but I feel like it's a really good educational tool for us to do. So those are kind of the top ones. There's a variety of other documents available out there. This is just a nice little crash course to get you guys on your way. Keep in mind, anytime that you guys are going to have contracts and want to protect your business, please put everything in writing. Try to use it as electronic delivery to be most efficient as possible. Every contract needs to have the proper specifics. Both parties must have the capacity to even enter the contract, which means they can't be a minor and so forth. And there has to be some sort of consideration, such as giving of money in exchange for products of either products, goods, services, whatever it is. So my recommendation for you guys is take everything that I just listed out for you to make it as a checklist. We've got the items to protect yourself, the layers of protection, and the forms that are underneath that other layer of protection for you guys to have. So focus on being able to shoot, grow your business, market, get those business network relationships going, and let me, my team, and other attorneys in your area handle the heavy legal work for you. And I wish you guys best of luck. I know you can do it. Yeah, don't forget, you can find me at thelawtalk.com, in the Facebook group for The Law Talk, or you can email info@thelawtalk.com, and we'll get back to you with whatever we can try to help with, because we are here to help you and take away the scariness of legal, because it's really not that bad, and we are here to help you with any questions that you have.